Jordan Peele's Nope isn't your typical alien film. There's no ungodly, intergalactic humanoid abomination thing trying to slice the characters in half, but instead, it's a twist on the classic UFO mystery. Think back to those really old 20th century alien films involving UFOs and abductions, but this time, that flying saucer isn't a vehicle, but a living organism. I mean, do you see that giant thing in the clouds? It's alive, the entire thing. And to us and the characters, it's a spectacle, the whole concept that this film revolves around. But what is spectacle? Well, our eyes are naturally drawn to visually striking imagery, the same way we're drawn to theater screens and amazing timeless events like Avengers Endgame. But it's also the same way people are drawn to public freakouts, disasters, and unfortunately, horrific tragedies. Gordy's home is an incident in Nope where a trained chimpanzee brutally lashes out at the actors on a TV set. Now, Gordy really isn't at fault here. He's been put in an environment that he simply doesn't belong in. He was spooked and his instincts got the best of him. The whole thing is treated as a tragedy, but in the eyes of some people, it was this massive event to gawk at, this spectacle, something to remember but never to learn from. Because years later, the UFO, whose name is Jean Jacket, is exploited as an attraction, which is honestly dumb as hell because why would you want to exploit this thing for money? But of course, it backfires. The creature gets agitated, possibly threatened by all the prying eyes, and it consumes everyone at the theme park, digesting them alive. Let's do a quick little experiment. Look at this picture. Bear with me now. I know it's crazy. Don't click off the video, just bear with me. Now, you probably want to unsee the deer man and rip your eyes out, but you've already seen it. You've been scarred, traumatized even. Maybe you shouldn't have looked at it in the first place. That was a terrible example, but the point I'm trying to make is that Nope makes a serious effort to emphasize the dangers of seeing. There are points in the movie where attention is taken away from something more interesting, but it's honestly for our own good. Now, you might have noticed earlier, but we don't get a full picture of the bodies Gordy left behind, or a clear view of the brutality as the violence is mostly obscured. We don't actually see Jean Jacket grind up all the theme park victims, only the blood it doesn't want to digest. Even the characters have to have their eyes drawn to something else sometimes, but again, it's for their own good. The kid who survived Gordy's attack never made direct eye contact with the animal, which is one of the reasons he survived. His focus was instead placed on this shoe that was able to stand up on its own, which I will get to later, don't worry. We also know that none of the characters can look at Jean Jacket or it will pursue them, as it's provoked by eye contact. But check this out. Jean Jacket's an interesting case because its eye resembles that of a camera, and the main goal of the film is to capture this creature on camera. It's an obvious parallel to the world's obsession with taking pictures and videos, and it's definitely saying something about our inability to capture a clear, up-close, detailed picture of a real UFO. However, it could feed into the idea that Jean Jacket is a sort of manifestation of humanity's destructive desire to witness the extraordinary. Nahum 3:6 is the Bible verse that appears at the beginning of the film. It's a promise from God that reads, "I will cast abominable filth upon you, make you vile, and make you a spectacle." Has it ever crossed your mind that, just maybe, Jean Jacket represents some form of punishment from God? Not to mention his final form looks a bit like a biblically accurate angel. Now, Jean Jacket most likely isn't a stand-in for God in this movie, despite it raining literal filth on the Haywood's house, but instead, this creature is a representation of wrath in the form of some enraged spectator from above the clouds. See, people are drawn to spectacles no matter how detrimental they may be. Morbid curiosity is a common human trait after all, but it's developed into something deplorable throughout the years as we become more and more desensitized. Many disregard the lives of other people and living things for entertainment. It's uncaring and cruel, but it's the hard truth. Jean Jacket represents the limit, the line that really shouldn't be crossed, an otherworldly threat that shouldn't be objectified or exploited. But of course, people will do precisely that, and the creature responds with violence. Since we seem to be picking up on some biblical context, recall that shoe I mentioned earlier. This might help to make some sense of it. There's a story in the Bible about Jesus and Peter in the midst of a violent storm at sea. As long as Peter keeps his eye on Jesus and trusts him, he'll be able to walk on water to safety from his boat. However, he sinks when he looks at the chaotic storm around him. See the connection? The Gordy incident seems like a perfect parallel to that story. The chaos caused by Gordy is the storm. The shoe is a distraction from that chaos which helped the boy survive, similar to how Jesus was Peter's distraction. It's only when he's older that we realize he didn't learn his lesson, and this time, there's nothing between him and the chaos, only direct eye contact, but with death itself. Nope is the most I've personally seen a movie lean into its messages, and I feel like it's a film made for generations to come. And I'm not exaggerating because as time goes by, the bar for that next spectacle, that next event, that next tragedy will be set even higher than it is now. So tread carefully, monitor what you see, and if you're feeling generous, leave this video with a like. Thanks for watching.